Welcome to the No Shame in This Money Game special edition of Mini Money Minutes. Last month was Financial Literacy Month, and I spent even more time than I normally do talking about, you guessed it, money. As adults, we tend to avoid any conversation about money, but for kids, the topic's fascinating. That might be due to the fact that most of them, at least in Massachusetts, aren't learning about it. Indiana just became the 19th state to mandate a semester-long course in financial literacy in order to graduate from high school, but Massachusetts isn't one of those 19 states. So here at Rockland Trust, we're doing the best we can to offer everything from credit for life fairs for high school students to fun songs and activities for elementary school students in Miss Money's classroom. And because it was Financial Literacy Month, I asked some of the high school students what they learned while we were visiting. So from Notre Dame Academy in Hingham to Burncoat High School in Worcester, the Epiphany School in Dorchester to South Shore Public Charter School in Norwell, here's what a dozen or so students learned about money. All right, go ahead.
So today I learned a lot about credit score. Me, I have a job. I started at 15, and every single time I got these tax papers and everything, I was very confused. But I feel like I got more of a clearer form because before my dad did them for me. But I feel like now that I have a clearer vision of what where the money really goes and all that stuff, I feel like I can do the taxes myself. I feel like the credit score was really intimidating at first. I always asked my parents about it, and they always said don't worry about it. You'll figure it out when you're 18. But I feel like this fair really helped me a lot with it. I feel like I understood it a lot more, and it felt a lot more easier.
What are credit for life fairs? Imagine you're a 25-year-old adult with a career, a salary, a savings account, and a credit score. How well can you manage your budget and live the life you want to live? That's what a Credit for Life Fair allows you to imagine while you're still in high school. Thanks to the support of local banks, community volunteers, and in partnerships with schools, for more than a decade, high school students from across Massachusetts and beyond have participated in Credit for Life Fairs where students learn the real-life budgeting and money management skills they'll use throughout their lifetime. Many of these students have had their first exposure to financial education through this program today.
Okay, today we're learning how to budget our money and live financially secure without getting ourselves into debt and maintaining a balanced credit score.
Okay, awesome. What did you learn today?
I learned that really the whole thing about being financially literate, it starts now. And it's when we're older, we have to think about that and worry about it. But in order to not have to worry as much, we should really put in the effort that we can as we're seniors in high school or even just being young adults.
I learned the importance of managing my money and just understanding that while I don't have to save my entire life, it would help to have some money that I can always count on when I need it most.
So today I learned how important it is to save for retirement, even starting right out of college, because I never thought of that and thought it'd be something I would have to deal with when I'm older, but now I realize that I should start thinking about that right now.
Question of what did you learn today?
So I haven't really thought that much about finance before today, but it kind of gives me a first look into it. And since my older two sisters are already they're in college, I kind of feel more comfortable knowing how I can manage student loans, and it's not a simple process, but it's very doable, and it's just you have to put in the work and be responsible. And I think it's something that I can do well once the time comes for me as well.
The cost of college is a real concern and stressor for teenagers today. More than half of all college students graduate with debt, more than 90% of those with federal loans, and the average debt of Massachusetts residents is nearly $34,000. That's $5,000 more than the national average. Those statistics are definitely cause for concern, considering that many of these teens aren't aware of how this debt will affect them, and they aren't given the education or tools to figure out how to manage it.
I learned that when you're saving for retirement, you want to start small, and every time you get a raise, you want to raise up the amount that you're saving for it. So when you're older, the money will keep getting higher.
Adana was the hostess with the mostest today on the panel, so I'd love to know what you learned today. You've been at this school for 13 years. Is this your first financial literacy day?
Yes, this is the first one that we had. I'm really excited that we got to learn all this information, and I'm happy I got to host the panel with you guys. But I learned a lot about how credit cards aren't as scary as I thought they were. And as long as you're responsible and use the skills that you've learned in high school and every other aspect of your life, that it'll be fine.
I learned about the priorities that you need to take into consideration when you start living on your own, but a lot of like how to prioritize your needs and wants.
Today we learned the difference between credit cards and debit cards.
Like I learned a lot about like food and stuff because I grew up on food stamps. So when I don't have food stamps, I want to learn how to budget the cost of food and how to just handle my budget and see what I can do and see what I could spend on and what I can't spend on because I do have a hard time with that. So yeah.
I liked the fair today. There was many different options and different opportunities that I haven't really considered, but now that I have it in my mind, it's there post-graduate of high school, and I can use what I've learned here for even post-graduate of college.
All right, what have you learned so far?
I learned that everything you do affects your credit, so making sure you're on time with payments also alters your credit, whether it goes up or down. So making sure that you're on time with your payments and making sure you're not doing excess payments or excess amounts of money you cannot pay. It affects your credit score, so making sure that you're making reasonable choices and paying on time is also what helps.
Getting to class on time, doing your homework, submitting your papers on time. All of these practices that make a person a good student create good and responsible habits that help in attaining and maintaining a good credit score.
I learned a lot of new things. I learned how future life is going to be as an adult, as a college student managing loans. I currently do have a job, and I did learn about tax returns and how credit cards can really affect whether or not you can buy stuff. I also learned how important a credit score is, because it really is a grade that stays with you all the way throughout your entire life. It's not just a grade in a class or something that'll only stay with you for a couple of years. It'll stay with you for a super long time.
So what I've learned from this is to always pay off your credit card balance and to definitely go for the biggest plan for retirement if you can, so you can save as much as you can for retirement and live a nice life.
I know I'm not supposed to pick favorites, but my favorite comment during Financial Literacy Month was from a senior in high school who saw me, Miss Money, perform Miss Money and the Coins at her elementary school 11 years ago and still remembered the lessons and the songs.
Okay. Hi, I'm a Notre Dame Academy senior. I'm here with Miss Money, and the second she walked in and was talking to us about our financial literacy, I remembered she came to my old school, St. Agatha, in first grade and talked to us and performed her play. She had all these characters. It was Miss Money. There was someone named Nick for nickel, and there was a penny, and they were singing all these songs. And I remember one of them was another day, another dollar, and there's some other things. It's a bit I remember it's saving and don't spend. But I just think it's really funny. It's a full circle moment right now.
Definitely a full circle moment for me as well, since we just launched Miss Money's Classroom on rocklandtrust.com, where you'll find all the fun songs that were in Miss Money and the Coins, plus activity sheets, a lesson plan, an animated introductory video, and by the end of the month, it'll be available in both English and Spanish. As you've heard, kids, young and old, are eager to learn about money. So parents, talk about money in your homes, and teachers, teach it in your classrooms, even when it's not Financial Literacy Month. And feel free to reach out to me to find more fun, free, and engaging resources for all your money learning needs. The No Shame in This Money Game podcast will return with some more bite-sized mini money minutes. Until then, keep listening and keep learning with Rockland Trust, member FDIC, the bank where each relationship matters, because we want you to have a healthy relationship with money at any age.